Hi, grade sevens. How are you doing? So this is our last recipe of our foods class for quarter one. So today's recipe, sweet, sticky, spicy chicken. And today's theme is frying and seasoning to taste, okay? All right, let's get started. So adjusted kitchen teams, I think I'm going to set a Google form up so that you can pick your teams for the last class. But I get the final say, and I think you guys know that, so no biggie. Every student needs to have caught up on their missing assignments. Yes, you will miss this week, unfortunately, if you have more than one missing assignment. So get caught up in your work. All right. Hang on. Okay, how the jobs work today. Do everything in this order. Head chefs, you know the drill. Direct your kitchen. You are the most calm person. You have read the recipe twice. Everyone should also have read it. Twice is good too. Preppers, ingredient getters, dishwashers, you know your job. And as usual, I'll need people to clean the prep table, sweep the floor, fold laundry. I'd be nice to have volunteers, but of course, I have no problems just randomly picking people. Okay, so here's your tips section. Work as a team. You guys know the drill. You've been at this like 9 weeks now. Everyone has a job. Do your job. Head chef, your job is to make sure everyone is doing their job. All right? Tip number 2. This recipe calls for 2 stove burners to be used at the same time, right? One will be for the sauce, and one will be for cooking or frying the chicken. Eventually, the sauce will be added to that chicken, but for a while, you're going to have 2 stove burners going on. All right, so watch yourself around the stoves. Be mindful of the pot and skillet handles. One person only, the prepper, will be at the stove at all times during cooking. Of course, head chef will help this out and as a backup. But do not crowd around the stove, okay? That makes it tough to cook when you've got 4 people surrounding the stove. Okay, frying with oil. Use the right type. Not all oils are created equal. Some oils are better for pastas and salads. Some oils are better for frying, cooking, and they're okay to heat up to high temperatures. Every oil has what's called a smoke point. This is the temperature at which oil starts to burn and can make food really awful tasting. So it's possible, grade 7s, to overheat certain types of oil, okay? So some oils are good for frying. Others, not so much. So types of oil. Look at all these oils. Holy mackerel. Are there lots of types of oils? Yes, they are. I'm not going to read them all out. You can read them. All right. Now, the ones in red are common ones, and the ones with red and highlight are the ones that I use quite a bit. Okay. Today, we're using a vegetable oil, which is sort of a blend. When you see vegetable oil, that means there's a blend. It's not just one type of vegetable. Okay. You look at the label. I believe Crisco is a lot of palm and soybean oil. So some of these oils are better in salads and some are better for cooking. Okay, there's just a little chart. I'm not going to go through this too much. It just tells you the smoke points of these oils, right? I like to use oils that are at least 350 degrees, at least, okay? You notice how butter is below? Well, it depends, but we all know that you can burn butter. That's all I'm saying. Refined canola oil is one I like, and so is peanut oil. Okay, so bottom line, Mr. Smith uses refined peanut oil for almost all his frying. Sometimes he uses vegetable oil, which is what we're using today. Sometimes refined canola oil. That's usually when I run out of peanut oil. Sometimes I'll blend the above with ghee, which gives it buttery flavor. Ghee is just clarified butter. It has the milk solids removed. A lot of Asian Indian kitchens use that version of butter. I never fry with extra virgin olive oil. For me, that's a no-no. First of all, this flavor is too strong. And second of all, it can burn easily. And sometimes I use olive oil, but not too much. What does season to taste mean? Okay, there's like a million versions of this recipe. Because basically this dish is fried chicken. And then we're just adding a sauce. All right? And there are lots, and I mean lots of sauces you can serve with this. And every family, every grandmother, grandfather, mom, dad, whoever, likes their family version of this dish, all right? Some people like a version that is more sweet, some like it more hot, some more salty, some more sour, like sweet and sour chicken. The sour part is usually is an acid like vinegar or lemon juice. But frying chicken is very common. So what I'm saying to you guys is, this is the recipe here, okay, where I'm moving the mouse. That's the recipe as written. But every family in the universe pretty much, usually plays with this a bit. When you're cooking, it's not as precise or as scientific as baking, like baking cookies and muffins and that kind of thing. Um, you can interpret this dish pretty much however you like. Okay, you can add more sugar, more honey, more soy. You can add more ginger. You can add more you can add more hot sauce. Okay, for the seasoning flour, salt and pepper is your go-to standby. All right, you can add paprika or cumin, but again, don't go crazy and be careful with salt. Also, brown sugar here. If you're going to use more brown sugar, remember you have to dissolve it, so you might need more liquid. So, like water, you can just add water. You could use a little bit more soy sauce. Be careful of your honey because it can burn. All right, season to taste means you can make your own version. But for today, if you're going to change that recipe, all right, if you're going to try and mess around with it a little bit, that's fine. But the rest of your kitchen has to be in 100% agreement. Otherwise, you must make the recipe as written. Okay, and then a little final note about herbs. I just wanted to take note, if you're going to start messing with recipes, just be mindful and careful about herbs. Herbs they come from a leaf or a flower of a plant. You guys are probably familiar with at least some of these. Here's the deal. If they're fresh, in other words, they are green and they look like they just got cut off the main plant, the more alive the herb, the less you want heat near it. I'm at the bottom of the slide here. They're always added last to your dish because fresh herbs can burn easily and quickly. Do not ever fry or cook with fresh herbs. If you ever watch cooking videos, they always add that parsley and cilantro near the end, okay? Just be very careful cooking around fresh herbs. If they've been dried and ground up, like oregano powder, that very fine powder you can get oregano like, that's more okay to cook with. I still wouldn't fry with just oregano, although I do see it in other rubs and other herb powders and spice rubs. When it's mixed with other spices like salt and pepper, that tends to protect those herb powders. So I'm just saying, dried and ground up is okay. Fresh herbs, no, do not fry with fresh herbs. You'll just burn the ever-living snot out of them. Anyways, I give you more resources, grade 7s. This first recipe, that's one we're basically using today. That's it. Have fun. And please, as always, be careful. Okay, see you Wednesday, grade 7s.